We're trying to figure out what is the best schedule possible so we can create the best fields and have the most viewership and also the most fan involvement. And what does that look like? And a lot of that, as you know, that's one of the reasons why we quit playing in September and October, and even early November, back when I was playing in my early days at the Tour Championship, there's this thing with a shield that's out there that's influential. And so, yeah, looking at different timetables when we might start and finish, different tent poles throughout the year and what that might look like. And we have some incredibly smart player directors, some independents, and some leaders that have led in change in other sports. So trying to put all that together with Brian's leadership and stewardship, that's what we're trying to implement all these different things. And again, create a product that the players want to be involved in, will be involved in, they're excited to be a part of, and the fans and all of our partners at all of our events and all the people who are involved in the sport, this is a better product. And a scarcity thing is something that I know it scares a lot of people, but I think that if you have scarcity at a certain level, it'll be better because it'll drive more eyes because there'll be less time. But don't forget the golfing year is long. And so there's other opportunities in other places around the world or other places to play that can be created and have events. So there's a scarcity side of it that's not as scary as people might think.
Pleased to be joined now by the host of the popular Five Clubs podcast, which you can see right here on Golf Channel, Gary Williams. GW, good to see you.
Richie, always good to see you, my friend.
Gary, one of the questions that I've heard from new leadership is, if you had a blank sheet of paper and were tasked with creating the best possible schedule, what would you do? What would you do, Gary?
Well, I think what Tiger said there, I think I agree with. Scarcity to a degree. I think, look, everything that we love in life, sports and beyond, we love it more when we miss it a little bit. We don't want to miss it a lot. But the difference, Rich, with golf, and I'll try to get to answering the question, is that there are so many players capable, and you cannot talk about there are more players capable right now than ever before that can win, and yet the workforce is shrinking. What I would do is, I have no problem elevating events, but you have to make sure that those players, the best players, the ones who are the legitimate draws, are there. The other thing that you have to do, Rich, I think, is bona fide jeopardy. We have too many no-cut events already, and I understand the consumer wants to see the best players on the weekend. The meritocracy of golf does not permit that you can be not good enough on Friday and still have an opportunity on Saturday. I have no problem with elevated events. I have no problem with the condensed kind of elite series. But what you also have to do is create simultaneously the idea that relegation is real. And even though you may have sponsorship that wants to give you a spot, I'm sorry, not good enough. So if you want competitive parity, which Brian Rolapp talked about, which the NFL most certainly has, parity comes with a price. If there's no price, then it's just lip service.
What's the right field size, Gary?
I think 100 players, Rich. I think that is, you know, when you look at the membership, you can say, well, every member shouldn't be permitted to play. I think 100 players in the elite series with cuts and a modest cut, whether it be to 65 or 70. To me, when you start talking about the best players in the world, and look, you know history exceptionally well, and a win is a win. But when we start parsing out, well, how many events did he win where the field was 35, 40, 50, 60 players, 120 guys every week? And this is your line. Put flags in the ground. Somebody's going to shoot 65 tomorrow. I think where they're looking at right now, the model is too small.
Gary, how would you assess the state of LIV Golf as we begin 2026?
Trying to find itself. I think that it is searching for an identity, which I think that they were trying to pursue different, and clearly they were different. But in order to get the trappings of what elite men's professional golf gives you, which is entry into the major championships, it wasn't so much in talking to the people who are part of the OWGR that it was 54 holes. It was, and not necessarily field size, because again, field size, you can evaluate, do an algorithm based on that. Going to 72 holes, you're going back to the mean. So I think they're trying to find their own identity. And more importantly, Rich, they're trying to find traction domestically in this country. And I think that they've had some good weeks, but the audience is not there. And part of that is the shoulder programming associated with where golf with LIV lies in this country. We don't associate it with Fox necessarily. I think that was one of the issues they had when they had the USGA package. So I think their identity right now is very murky.